Good afternoon. This is Brian Hennessy. Welcome to another episode of Titan LEDs, believe it or not. Today we're going to shoot a video, talk about 8-foot tubes. I know you're all familiar with the 8-foot tube section. We have two spec sheets in front of us. One, an American-made 8-foot tube, and another 8-foot tube that perhaps comes off a boat somewhere. The whole thing that we're always up against in the marketplace is spec versus fact. So what we want to do today is show you the spec sheet versus facts of what the actual performance of the tube is. And the way we can do that is, again, as I always talk about, it's really not about the lumen output, it's about delivered foot candles on any work surface. So today what we want to do is find out what is the actual delivered foot candles of this particular product on a work surface versus the American-made Titan LED 8-foot tube. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start a spec sheet right here. I'll start over here with this spec sheet here. And again, I've told you several times in several episodes, we cross off the name of our competitors. We're not trying to start a war. We're just trying to show everybody that there is a difference, and maybe the spec sheet isn't always telling the truth. But this particular spec here says 43 watts, and it's professing 5,500 lumens. So this particular tube, again, is going to be burning at 43 watts is what they're claiming, and they're going to deliver about 5,500 lumens is what they're saying. We're going to verse that up against a Titan spec sheet. On the Titan spec sheet, we are professing a 38 watt spec, and we are saying 5,495. So if you look at the spec, relatively the same. We're a little bit less wattage. They're 43 watts versus our 38 watts. We're going to be a little less in wattage. We say we're 5,495. They say they're 5,500. So you're almost less than 100 lumens difference between the two of them. So should be relatively a safe comparison, or pretty quite comparison when we get down to the foot candle measurements. These tubes should be pretty accurate according to the spec sheets, or pretty close in performance according to the spec sheets. So let's go over here and start off with wattage, and let's see what this particular tube is burning in wattage. So again, today's episode of Titans Believe It or Not, this tube is professing, again, they're saying it's 43 watts. I am looking at the watt meter and it's 43.3. So if we were going to grade them on this particular measure here, I would say they'd get an A, right? The spec says 43, they're delivering 43.2. We got to give them that. That's pretty good. That's dead on. If I was to go over here now, let's measure lumens. So this is a foot candle meter, and on the foot candle meter, we're going to show, that was a bounce right there, but we're going to show 77 foot candles. So 43.3 watts, 77 foot candles, according to the spec sheet. And again, the lumens are saying 5,500 lumens. So 43, the wattage is right. Lumens at 5,500 lumens, and the foot candles is 77. So let's try an American-made Titan tube, and let's see where this tube comes out. So if you could shut this off and turn this one on. Oh, I was a little behind. What we'll do is we'll take some measurements on this particular tube here. So this tube now, this is the Titan LED tube. This tube is going to come in. I got to show you the comparison as well. I forgot to mention, this is a 50,000 hour rated tube versus Titan's tube is 102,000 hours rated tube. That's a significant difference. But again, this is a 38 watt tube, so we'll go over there and test the wattage, and then we'll come back and test the foot candles, and they should be pretty close. This one was at 77 foot candles, so let's see what we got. Come over here, we'll look at the wattage. So with Titan, we were saying that this American-made tube is at 38 watts. You'll see that we're coming in at 38.8. 38.7 as it heats up, it'll come down a little bit, but roughly about 38.7 watts is what we're burning on this particular tube. Let's roll over here and take a look at the lumens. As you can see, the other tube, which was 5,500 lumens, will profess 5,500 lumens at 43 watts. You can just keep it on the foot candle meter there. I can read this off, but it was 43 watts at 5,500 lumens versus Titan at 38 watts at 5,496. Yet they delivered 77 foot candles. We're delivering 109 foot candles. So if you look at 77 foot candles versus this profession versus 109 foot candles versus the profession of Titan LED, our profession at Titan LED, here's what you're going to find. As I say in every episode of Titan LEDs, believe it or not, somebody's not telling the truth there. We're not sure who it is. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Titan LEDs, believe it or not.